Welcome to a Map Business Online video. This is a custom video based on some specific requirements a customer has given us, but we're going to just make this a public video. The first thing I'd like to recommend a user do when they come to their Map Business Online and they want to do a little zip code work. This is not a complicated process that we're going to go through, but you want to make sure you've got custom view established in your map and data window. So map and data is that place where you go. You can click right there if you close it by accident. That's the place where you go to manage those areas, the zip codes, the counties, and the states. You can, for instance, make the zip codes. You can turn them on. We're going to turn them on nationwide here. And we're just going to make sure that those zip codes are a little bit transparent. So instead of being opaque, they're going to be transparent so you can see through them. We've got the line of the borders established. So there's a little bit of setup work you can do. You can change the colors if that's of interest for you in your zip code analysis. Now, the area of interest we've got right now is San Gabriel, California. So I've typed that in up here. And all I have to do is click the binoculars, and that will bring me in to San Gabriel, California. And it plots a point right in the middle of San Gabriel. And I can make that a saved point on the map if I want to by saving it right there and saving my data set, or I can just leave it as is. There's interest in defining a zip code area between San Gabriel, California and Rancho Cucamonga. And if we back out a little bit, we quickly see that Rancho Cucamonga is over to the right, to the east a little bit. Let's see if I can't find it. Yeah, there it is right there. So we can see a variety of zip codes in this area between San Gabriel, California and Rancho Cucamonga right there. So let's just do a radius search around San Gabriel. To do that, we click that point, right, that little draw circle on the map right there. And it's going to add a circle to the map based on the area that you input here. So if we want to make it just 15 miles, we can set that. We can also change the radius by manually grabbing a point and moving it in and out. Now we can query that radius by simply clicking the binoculars and choosing zip codes. If we want to find all the zip codes within that circle, we click the binoculars and then choose the zip code layer, name that. So we'll call that San Gabriel 15 miles. We create that list. That brings up the data window. Now, in the data window, you'll have counties listed, you'll have states listed, and you'll have the zip codes listed. And in this case, there's 208 zip codes of the 35,708 boundary zip codes around the country, and you can export that list out right on that button right there. You'll export it out as a CSV file. If you can close the data window, you can always open it back up again right there. And now you can see on our map, we've got all of these zip codes selected, and they overlap a little bit. So any zip code that that circle touches is included in that analysis. Now, with Rancho Cucamonga over here to the east, we could do another search here. And we could do that by dropping down here and dropping a circle. So I've selected in my draw tools up here, I've selected the radius search, and I can plop it right in the middle of Rancho Cucamonga. And again, I can go out 15 miles, whatever it might be, and I've created another search by zip code. So let's call that Rancho 15 miles, and we've got another data set. You can export that data set out. It's reflected on the map. And in the data window now, we're going to open the data window back up. You've got two data sets underneath zip code. One is Rancho 15 and the other is San Gabriel for 15. So those are two radius searches around those two cities. Basically, we've built two territories around those two cities. So now let's go back and let's actually delete the circles. And let's go up here to the data window. And let's just go back to the territories that we just made and delete them. So you can delete all. This gives you an opportunity to manage them. So you could use a polygon tool instead of a radius search tool to find the zip codes that are around both communities. So let's say we just draw a line to the west of San Gabriel, bring that over to the San, let's see, we'll make that, let me just start again. So I can just delete it and start again. I'm going to go over here to Rancho Cucamonga. And as we bring this back, if I wanted to avoid a zip code, I could certainly just do a less defined line and avoid certain zips if I want to. But again, just like in the circle, any zip code that my line touches is going to be queried. So again, it's going to ask you to query this polygon. It automatically brings up the options for layers. And we'll call that Gabriel Rancho Zips Polygon. Then again, the data window will open up. We've got all of our zip codes highlighted, and we can export that list out. I'm checking the list of things that we want to do. We've got tree radius. Well, we did that. We draw a line instead of a circle. And that seems to be the list of things that the customer had interest in. So now we've got this exportable right there. That's going to come out as a CSV file. The other thing we could do is we could turn on the county layer and query the county layer as well. So you can just open up that same option and get a list of counties. So that's another way to go. So Gabriel Rancho counties. So those are the ways that you query administrative district layers in Map Business Online. And you can see that the counties are broader in terms of their scope. So if I turn off that zip code layer, we're just looking at counties now, and we can kind of take a pull back, and you can see we've crossed the line using that polygon of 3 counties, and that's what we get with our list of counties here. 3 counties, 3 out of 3,221. Export it out, and that gives you a list of counties. So here's a way to query states, zip codes, and counties in Map Business Online for export and use outside of the application. Once you've got your map established and you like everything that you've done, you can save your map up here. So you go to this button to save your map view. You can save up to 200 maps with any subscription. You can always delete them and save more. Go to mapbusinessonline.com and take our free trial. Thank you.